So here are the 7 steps to creating a viral video every time. The first step is that you want to choose a topic that your selective audience is actually looking for. You can do this mentally whenever you think about the 20 questions that your audience or your customers ask you about the most. But you want to validate these assumptions by using tools. So you can use things like SEMrush. You can also go on Reddit and do searches and make sure that these are things that are actively being asked about and engaged with. You want to also be sure that you make it exciting in some way. One great way to do this is to include a name. So for instance, rather than say, this is how I created this video, you can say, this is how I created this video for such and such a company or for such and such a celebrity. By leveraging someone else's name and social network, so long as they're okay with it, that also helps to propel the topic of the video higher in the algorithm. The next step to creating a viral video is the hook. You hear a lot about creating the right hook, but essentially what you don't want to do is start off with a logo or a slow animation. You want to get right to the point. You'll notice nowadays a lot of videos are actually starting with the climax or the exciting end, and then they're cutting to how they got to that point. Whether that or not that's something you choose to do, that's not really the point. The point is that you need to be experimenting and following best practices with the hook. So when it comes to the hook, some of the best hooks are how I did X in Y number of days, or how I earned Y number of dollars in Z number of days. You want to be sure that it's compelling and that you give the answer or start to give the answer right away in the first 3 seconds. You don't want to make people have to wait or jump to the end. Step 3 is you want to keep in mind the format of where you're going to be posting. Mind you, with the network that you're going to be posting, whether it's a YouTube, whether it's LinkedIn profile, whatever channel it is on which you're posting, you want to be sure that you're following best practices, but then you're also following what's trending. So with best practices, it's things like making sure that you're recording in the right aspect ratio, making sure that you're posting in line with what is most popular and trending on those networks. On Instagram for a long time, it was Reels. It's still Reels over posts, but also things that tend to be on Instagram Live tend to be pushed to the front of the algorithm now for your followers. So keeping things like that in mind. Secondly, you want to keep in mind things that are trending. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. You can pay attention to channels like mine that will tell you what is trending in terms of trending sounds, trending layouts, and things like that, and make sure that you utilize those. The other thing that you can do is you can actually watch shareholder meetings and new product or service feature announcements from the companies themselves. These give strong hints as to where companies are going to be performing very well. A couple of years ago, whenever Meta introduced that they wanted to become the new phone, they wanted Meta Messenger to actually replace the iPhone, you better believe that they pushed call ads to the top of the algorithm, and we were able to generate incredible results with call ads utilizing that. But just keep that in mind, pay attention to the things that the companies are saying. Basically they're going to tell you the secrets to their algorithm, at least for, usually anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months after that time. So step 5 is to make sure that your video provides value both to you as well as to the end user. For you need to make sure that each video has one clear call to action, whether for you to tell whether it's a winner or a dud for your business. And that means that you need to ask your end user one thing, whether that is to like, to subscribe, to download an e-guide or some sort of brochure, to subscribe to your newsletter, or keep in touch in some other way. But you need to make sure that there is one clear call to action and that you and your team are measuring that. That's how you'll determine that there's value to you. Now, in terms of value to the end client, the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that your video answers the question that was asked. So if you say, hey, this video is going to provide 7 steps to a viral video, and then you're only providing 3, nobody's going to like or subscribe to your channel. You need to make sure that what you're doing is you are providing exactly what you said you would and in clear language, and that you're doing it in a way that only you can. Bonus points if you're able to provide it saying things that are more obscure or that are harder to find anywhere else. Part 6 is actually my favorite. So that is actually editing ruthlessly. You can take the same piece of content, publish it multiple times. Just because you have different titles, hooks, and captions, it can perform entirely differently. And that's where the magic really is. So you need to make sure that you're religious about the way that you not only cut your footage, but also the way in which you engage with people. Those first 3 seconds are so essential. In those first 3 seconds, that determines not only whether or not people will continue to watch, scroll down, or exit off the app entirely, but then that also determines whether or not they'll actually engage with the video later on. It's really important, those first 3 seconds when you're editing. In addition to that, you want to make sure that you're adding captions. 2/3 of people now are viewing on mobile or tablet with the sound off. And so you want to be sure that you actually provide captions that makes the video automatically more engaging. And then you want to experiment with different transitions. Study the analytics of your videos religiously. If there's a certain type of footage that you're cutting to as a talking head video, make sure that you're switching back. Alternatively, if you're not doing doing talking head videos, make sure that whenever people are falling off of your video that you're removing that type of content. And lastly, part 7, you want to be sure that you have structure. So whenever you're watching your video, does it flow, or is there something that you could have explained better? Is there somewhere that there is a gap in understanding where you could record a quick snippet and have that edited in? Really think about the logical flow, the story arc that you're telling, and see if there's additional places where you could add in content to be even more value add. Remember what Alex Hormozi said, each and every video should be like a masterclass in what it is that you're teaching or selling. So make sure that each one is extremely value add. If you would like a complimentary digital marketing assessment for your business, please feel free to reach out.